Welcome everyone to our robot lesson with Miss Zarnowski. Today, you should have already watched my video about the robot babysitters. Uh, First, before I even start, I want you to brainstorm what type of robot you want. What do you want your robot to do? I picked a baking robot that could make any type of food I want, even if I didn't have the ingredients in the house. Um, as you can probably see, I started my robot drawing, and there's something different about what I drew it on. And you'll notice it's tinfoil. All right, so after you brainstorm what type of robot you want to make, what you need today is tinfoil. Uh, you need a protector paper, okay? This is to protect my table so I don't get anything on my table. And you do need a Sharpie marker or a permanent marker. It's really important that it's a permanent marker so that you can write on the Sharpie. If you don't have a foil or a Sharpie marker, you could just make your robot on a regular piece of paper with regular markers or crayons. But it looks really cool when it's on the tin foil because it's shiny like a robot, right? So it looks like the metal of the robot. All right, so I'm going to take my tin foil and I'm going to open it up. And I don't want to make too big. I don't want to make too big of a piece. So I'm going to kind of pull it out so it almost looks like the size of like a regular paper that you would draw on. I'm really going to carefully rip it. This might be something you want your parents to do. So before you go grab this out of the drawer and do this all yourself, maybe ask an adult, right? Hey, could I use this tinfoil for my art project? And maybe you could tear it for me. Might be a good idea. Do not take more than you need. Okay, so this is perfect. You can kind of notice that it didn't rip perfectly. I'm not okay. I'm going to show you how to make your tinfoil look nice. Okay, so back down. All right, so I am going to, there's actually a really shiny side of tinfoil. I'm going to put that side down on the table. It doesn't really matter, but I want to be fancy. And I'm going to just carefully fold the edges. So even if you didn't rip a perfect piece of tinfoil, that's totally okay. This kind of fixes it. I'm just going to fold over the edges a little bit. This is going to make sure your artwork's pretty sturdy too. Okay. And here we go. Wonderful. Again, if you don't have tinfoil or if there's no adult to supervise you for that, you could just use paper. Okay. So I have my piece of tinfoil. I flipped it over to the front and I have my protector paper. I'm going to assume most of you have a Sharpie of some sort at home, usually black, because, that's usually the one people use. All right, so you're going to decide what kind of robot you want, and then you want to just start. I'm going to start at the top with my robot's head. Now, this one was like a baking robot, and he kind of could wheel around the kitchen, and his stomach is an oven, so that's where he could bake stuff in it. I think that this is going to be maybe a cleaning robot, because when I'm making my paintings, I don't really like to clean up after myself sometimes. This is going to be an art cleaning robot. Uh, you could just use basic shapes to make your robot. Right? It could really look however you want. Right, just basic things like eyes, maybe a mouth, and then you could make whatever parts that you want. I'm going to make mine smiling because, it's friendly. Maybe I might make this one have a smock, right? Maybe since it's a cleaning robot, it has an apron like I usually wear when I'm cleaning up, all right, from art. Maybe some paintbrushes and stuff and pencils sticking out of the apron pocket, like so it's carrying around. Maybe the hands have a cup in them, right? So for the dirty paintbrushes, so I'm just making this all up, right? Like I just am using really basic shapes. Notice I'm actually making my robot symmetrical. Second graders, you know that word. Can we all say symmetrical? That means the same on both sides. But you don't need to. Your robot could, have one thing in one hand and one thing in another. I think in this other hand, I'm going to have it holding my paint set. So you can just see how I'm going through and creating the robot drawing. However far you get today with your drawing is great. If you don't finish drawing your robot, that's okay. You can always finish it next week. So do you need to finish this drawing right now today? Nope, certainly not. Have fun creating. Oh, one more thing. Uh-oh, I almost forgot. Don't poke your paper too hard with your Sharpie or it might go through. That's also why we have the protector paper here so that if it does poke through, not the end of the world and your table is protected. Okay, now I promise I'm finished. Happy creating.